Hi, I am so glad to be continuing the Make Your Move interview series, and today it's with my friend Nicki Koziarz, and I'm going to tell a story just to start out today, Nicki. And you know, do you ever have those stories that you really shouldn't probably tell?
Yes. Is this a story about me?
No.
Okay.
But you'll probably get it.
Okay.
So basically, I'm going to kind of throw myself under the bus. So, when I felt God kind of first prompting me to speak, it was really hard for me because I didn't go to women's events. I didn't like women's events. And the reason I didn't like them is because they make me uncomfortable.
Yes.
I know this sounds really weird, but even right now, my heart's kind of pounding because of the feeling I have going into a room full of people I don't know. And I bet in your top 5 strengths, you probably have that whole woo thing.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't have one strength that...
Okay, wait, you got to explain what woo is. So, Strength Finders 2.0, right? Isn't that what it's called?
Sure.
Yes. It's a big thing at Proverbs 31 Ministries. Everybody has to take this test, right?
Everybody, yes.
So, we all get our top strengths. And so, woo means winning others over. That's what...
And so I love people, but I love this thing.
Yeah.
I love, let's mean you go out for coffee. Let's hang out together.
Yeah.
But large groups of people make me really nervous. In fact, every year I dread going to the Proverbs 31 Christmas party.
Okay, me too. And guess what? I'm not going to be here this year for it.
Okay, so
I can't be your awkward sidekick.
But there's just something about, you know, walking into a room full of people that I know, but I don't work in the office, and so I don't really have a relationship with them.
Right.
But I know they're great people, and I'd love to get to know them more, but life doesn't really afford that. And so I think today what we're talking about it because I need it.
Yeah.
Because I've got a couple of Christmas parties coming up where I need to make conversation, and I could use some help.
Yeah.
So I know. Yeah, she's agreeing. So yeah, Lynn, you do need help.
Awkward girl to another awkward girl. We'll help each other out through this.
So that is something that you have felt before?
Absolutely. Okay, so this surprises people all the time, but I am 100% introvert. Which, are you introverted?
Well, as a young person, I was so extroverted that my report cards would always say, Lynn won't keep her mouth shut. In fact, one time, my 5th grade teacher moved my desk next to his desk. So there was Mr. Lovegren, Lynn, and then all the students.
Yeah.
But as I got older, and especially because I spend hours and hours and hours a day alone, writing and stuff, I've gotten much more introverted.
Yeah. Oh, okay, definitely. And I noticed over Thanksgiving how confirmation that was for me that I'm so introverted because I was so depleted from being around people all the time. Like literally I was like, just don't talk to me, anybody.
Done. So done.
My poor kids. But no, Lynn, I think every woman potentially struggles with this, okay? Whether you're introverted or extroverted, because we all get invited into these rooms that sometimes we wonder, like, why am I even here, right?
Yeah. And it's fearful. I mean, literally, like I said, the situation makes my heart pound.
Yeah.
It's just scary for some of us.
Yeah. So I think there's a couple things we can do, okay? So whenever I'm walking into a new room with people, first of all, something really practical. I try to identify who's going to be there so I can start thinking through some, like, here's a conversation I could have with Lynn or with Lisa Allen or some. Lisa Allen's so easy to talk to. She would talk about the wall for hours. But I'm saying, like, just try to start thinking about who's going to be there. And, you know, John Maxwell, he has this whole teaching on value, like how we can bring value wherever we go, whether it's a Christmas party or a Sunday school function or a church something, whatever it is, a women's event. We can bring value. And so start thinking, when you get ready to enter into a room where you feel so insecure, what is the value that I bring into this room? Now, your number one value, obviously, is Jesus Christ. Because you bring the atmosphere of Jesus into a room, and that has the potential to change everything. So that's huge, okay? But then you as an individual, there are things that God has gifted you to do and to say and to be, the quirky things that make you Lynn, and, you know, the quirky things that make me Nicki. Like, I mean, I have some quirky animals that, you know, I can talk about and things like that. But all of us have something that we bring into that room that brings value to somebody else. So instead of walking in and going, oh my gosh, who am I going to talk to? Walk in there with that holy confidence, knowing that you are bringing that atmosphere of Jesus Christ into the room. And he has created you to be just like you are. And that is valuable. And you have something to offer somebody else. So when you start to look at those awkward situations with that kind of mindset, it doesn't maybe make all those nervous feelings go away, but it can give you a little bit more of that holy confidence that you're talking so much about through this book.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that I talk about in there is that a confident woman doesn't need the spotlight on her because she already has the light in her.
That's so good.
And I think that's sometimes why we feel uncomfortable, is because we go into a room kind of expecting people to talk to us.
Yeah.
We expect people to engage us instead of going in expecting to be the one who has to do the uncomfortable thing.
Right.
The place that I first learned this was actually serving at church, because I would go to church expecting to receive, and expecting for people to come and up to me and talk to me. And when I began to change my perspective that I was going to church to serve, and that's so hilarious. Karen Eamon just tried to call me. Sorry about that. But it completely changes our perspective when we're like about what can I do, what value can I bring, how can I bless someone else. It really changes a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So how have you seen this perspective, this change of perspective, be a blessing to you?
A blessing to me. That's a good way to look at it. Well, I think, I think first of all, just admitting that sometimes we're not the most confident person in the room is really healthy. That's a blessing to be able to say, I'm not perfect, I don't have this figured out, because there's a lot of people who try to act like they do have it all together. And sometimes when we act like we have it all together, we actually end up coming across as rude or
standoffish.
Yeah. And that's a form of insecurity is really what it is coming out. So it's a blessing to be able to say, hey, I'm not the strongest person in this room. I'm not the most confident person in this room, but I was invited into this room and I want to be in this room. And when you bring that kind of spirit, people are going to just be drawn to you. I really think so.
I do too. And I think something else that has helped me as I've tried to overcome this uncomfortable awkwardness is for me to look for someone else that looks uncomfortable.
Yes.
So if I see someone who's kind of in the corner, or someone who isn't engaged in a conversation and they're kind of looking around, as weird as I feel, to go up to them and kind of be that bridge for them. And again, if I can just quit thinking about me and thinking about someone else, usually I'll start feeling better.
Yeah. Well, I always tell my girls, because I have one of my girls is very introverted, and she almost to the point where she fears new situations so bad. And so one of the things that I tell her all the time, which I tell myself too, is just ask people questions about themselves.
Yes. I've told my daughters the same thing.
People love to talk about
themselves.
Where'd you get that necklace, Lynn? I love it. I love your earrings. Just start off that way. And it's a really great way to dive into a little bit deeper of a conversation.
Great. So just to highlight what you said, number one, walk into a room knowing the value that you're going to bring, and bring it. Just bring that value of Jesus into the room. Look for the person who needs to be loved on and who needs to be noticed.
Yes.
And reach into them. And I think we are going to get through the holidays a lot better.
Yeah, I think we can do this.
Okay.
Sorry, I won't be there. 31 party for you.
That's okay. I think I can do it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us today. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next week for my interview with Susie Eller.
Yay.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.